Let's see what's cooking. Let's get the facts. Let's see what's cooking. It's time for Yo-Yo Max 12.
Hi everyone, you asked for a Gir cupcake and here is how to make one. You're going to need some green marshmallows to make the head and body. This is what I use to do this. These are actually homemade marshmallows and I will post the recipe of how to make these marshmallows very soon, probably in the next video. For Gir's ears, I'm using black shoestring licorice, cutting one tip of the licorice off to make an angle shape. And then just a small section and just poke it in to the top of the marshmallow head. And then do that the second time for the next ear. Just like that. Now for the stitching on down the front of the Gir face, I'm using black Wilton icing that I bought in a tube because I'm only using a small quantity of it. It's easier to use the tube. I put it in a Ziploc bag because I needed just a tiny, tiny little hole. And then draw the stitching and the nose. For the Gir tongue, I'm using fruit roll-ups, also called fruit by the foot. And just cutting off a small section with a clean pair of kitchen scissors. And what's great about this stuff is that if you just put a little dab of water on one end of it, it sticks to pretty much anything and sticks to the marshmallow quite well. So just sticking the tongue onto the bottom of the head. And Gir has a little black line on the top of the tongue, so I'm adding that now. Now for the eyes, I'm using rockets, which are little round candies. You can use any round candy. You could even use a white blob of icing as well. And I'm adding just a little black dot for the detail for the eye. I'm going to glue those on to the marshmallow head using a little bit of black icing. And there is the completed Gir head. You could even just plunk this on top of a cupcake and it would look good on its own, but we're going to continue on with the body. This is gray icing. I have gray food coloring. It comes in a Wilton gel paste and I tinted a little bit of white icing with it, put it in a Ziploc bag, and I'm just recreating the zipper shape on the front of the costume. Now, I couldn't figure out any other way to get this to stick onto the top of a cupcake except for using toothpicks. Now, obviously, if you're using toothpicks in a cupcake and you're serving these to small children, you most certainly would have to take it apart and make sure you remove the toothpicks before you give them to small kids. If you're giving them to older kids or adults, just make sure you tell them that there are toothpicks inside so that there are no nasty surprises. A second toothpick in the body and attach the head. The head kind of leans out forward from the body, according to the cartoons I've seen. Now for arms and legs, I'm using candy-coated licorice, and they come in all sorts of colors, including black. And I'm attaching the same thing on the sides of the body. You could also just use icing for the arms and legs as well, if you want. Gir also has a little tail, and I'm using the same black licorice string. Just cut a piece off, stuck it in the back. Now, I would recommend that you do further stitching at the top of the head and down the back, because when I looked at photos of Gir after I made this cupcake, I realized that he does have stitching down the back as well. So I think that would be a nice, easy detail to add to this to make it even better. There you go, completed Gir cupcake. Give them a try.